From Forex Traders Daily, this is your daily analysis with Ross Mullins, live from Richmond, Virginia.
Hello everyone, this is today's video analysis for December 24th, 2015. Of course, in anticipation of the long holiday weekend, I don't expect to be taking any trades today, and I won't be suggesting any trading opportunities for the day today, but I just wanted to take this moment to do kind of a recap of the week, what we might expect for the next few hours while the market's open, and of course what we might look for as the market reopens next week. Starting here on the US franc, we could see the previous uptrend several weeks ago taking hold, pushing it all the way up to new highs. Then of course the market in a correction phase, pulling back down towards the 100 period moving average. Since then, it's just been bouncing around, and we could see somewhat of a range developing here inside this black box. Resistance towards the top, support towards the bottom into the 98.40s here for the US franc. For the time being, I don't expect we're going to break out of this box anytime soon. In fact, it may not be until we start the new year that we see the breakout of this range in this box. So for the time being, we're looking at support down here around the green shaded area between 98.40 and 9800. We're looking at current resistance between 9900 and 9920. That's the blue shaded area here in the middle of our little range. Let's go ahead and zoom it in one more time. And of course, towards the top of the range, we'll look at resistance all the way back up here towards the 1.0 level. So we see where support is, we see where our current resistance is, and future potential resistance all the way at the top of the range. Of course, it would take a breakout above that 99.20 level to get back up there in the blue shaded area, to get back up to the top. All of that changes, of course, and of course this is mere speculation, but all of that changes. If it breaks underneath the 9800 level, we start to look for a return of the downtrend. Anytime it breaks back above 1.0, we'll likely look for the return of the buyers here for this currency pair. And again, likely that's what we could look for going into the new year. But for the time being, we can see where our current support and resistance levels are. Moving on over to the euro dollar, not a whole lot different. We see the downtrend, the correction rise here after the ECB news, correction rise. We could see a little bit of a range developing here as well. I can zoom it way in. We can see that black box. Currently, obviously, resistance all the way up at the top of the blue shaded area. That is 109.95 to 1.1025 or so. We see the 100 period moving average coming in there as well. Orange shaded area, that's 109.18 to 109.40. That's acting as a little period of congestion. You can see the past 1, 2, 3 days just been stalled out, and even the fourth day kind of hanging out as resistance there around the 99.18 to 99.40 level. Anytime it pushes above there with a significant open and close, we likely look for the turn back up here towards the range, top of the range, back up here into the blue shaded area. Back underneath it, we possibly look for it all the way back down to the green zone at the bottom. But again, I think it's very likely that we stay within this black box until we get through the New Year's holiday next week. I don't anticipate anything that would cause us to get outside this box. So watching that over the next several days. GBP USD, we have seen over the past few weeks a pretty significant downtrend within the long-term downtrend. You can see the red trend line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 highs, downtrend. Even the past couple of weeks, we've been in a significant downward fall within that trend. It's found some support down here above 1.4800, now making a little bit of a rebound. Let's go ahead and zoom it in a couple of times here on the daily time frame. Take a look at this orange shaded area between 1.48. We'll call it 95 and 1.4930. That's the orange shaded area. We looked at that yesterday during the live trade room. Anything above 1.4930 may begin a journey back towards the 1.5000 level. That's the green shaded area up here. Back underneath and within or underneath that orange zone, a possibility of challenging, once again, the supports down here towards the low 48s, 1.4830. 1.4805. Definitely watching over the next several days for new information that could see either a breakout higher or a return back in the direction of the downtrend for the pound dollar. Next, we're going to move on over here to the USDCAD. Now, this pair, we have seen a significant break of the pattern of the trend. I'm going to start here on the 4-hour time frame. You can see the pattern of the trend over the past several weeks. We're going back into November for the beginning of this trend. You can see the circle at the very bottom, resistance, breakout, continuation of the uptrend, yellow zone, congestion, pink zone, congestion, green zone congestion. The difference now is how we've broken underneath that green zone, which we haven't seen a push lower for quite a long time. In fact, the beginning of the trend between the green and the blue shaded area down here at the very bottom of the chart. So for the day today, we can clearly see where our support is. That's 1.3850 to 1.3815. That's the orange shaded area up here at the top of the chart. So for the day today, as long as we see the market stay above that orange zone, we're looking at support. The possibility of returning back in the pattern of the trend and heading back up here to the green shaded area as our resistance zone is there. Obviously, if you're going to short this currency pair against the long-term uptrend, the best opportunity to do that would be in the green zone or underneath the orange shaded area. And that will be likely what you're looking for going through next week. Resistance at the green zone, break through the orange zone, we look for it to go lower. On the opposite side, a return of the uptrend. Here, of course, at the orange shaded area is support. A break back above the green zone, we look for the continuation of the uptrend pattern for the USCAD. Next, moving over to the USDJPY, we've seen significant volatility out of this currency pair over the past couple of weeks. We see the fall here, significant fall here where the red trend line is. I'm going to shorten that up a little bit here. Significant fall where the red trend line is. That fall, by the way, was about 300 pips. So then we saw the rise, we saw the turnaround and a rise almost just as much as the fall, and now in the recent time frame we've been in the downward slide. So quite volatile over the past few weeks. Obviously currently we're in the downward slide and it's been pushing into support over the past couple of days. Support now 120.25 to 120.30. That's the yellow shaded area. Let's go ahead and zoom it in a couple of times. We can see that support now. Obviously our resistance is the closest resistance is the pink zone. Current support is the yellow shaded area. Be cautious down here. Would expect it needs to break through there if you're going to look for a further movement down through the 120.25 level. May see this back down into the mid to upper 119s. That's the blue shaded area down here. So definitely an area to watch. I don't think going short right now is a good idea here for the US yen. Moving on to the AUDUSD, we've been studying this triangle pattern developing here over the past several weeks here for the Australian dollar. The rise, the fall, the rise, the fall, and currently we're in a little bit of the rise phase within the triangle pattern. Let's go ahead and zoom in a couple of times. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days predominantly rising, but we're running into resistance. Take a look at the last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, 8 days really, holding underneath this yellow shaded area and the 72.70 or so level. So unless it breaks through here, unless it pushes with a significant force, open and close above 72.70, I still think there's a possibility for us to find some resistance here, maybe even working our way back down to the support, which is into the orange shaded area, 71.90, 7200. So definitely watching for that. Any breakout, open and close above 72.70, probably takes a turn back up here towards the top of the trend, the top of the triangle pattern, and into the 73.20s once again for the Australian dollar. And lastly, New Zealand dollar. Here's something interesting for you today. Long-term trend line, the red trend line there from the weekly time frame. We've studied this over the past several weeks. We're there again. Blue shaded area between 67.95, 68.25 is our resistance zone. We've traded it. We've made profit off of there already. Definitely it's something to watch, the blue shaded area there. As long as it stays within it or below that red trend line, I think there's resistance and the possibility of taking this back down again. Only on a significant breakout above 68.25 or so do I expect a continuation higher for the New Zealand dollar.
From Forex Traders Daily, this has been your daily analysis with Ross Mullins. If you would like to get Ross's analysis on all the currency pairs he's watching and all the trades he takes today, join him in his live trade room by clicking on the link below. Please leave any comments you have about today's video in the comments section below.